everyone, what's up? Welcome back to Unconventional TV. It's been an unusually long yet mandatory hiatus, all of which I will cover in an upcoming unconventional video, but I'm back and I have an incredibly important announcement to make. I am getting the COVID vaccine. Is this risky? Yes. As I've discussed in my previous videos, I've talked at length about some of my more prominent underlying health issues, which is why I did not make this decision lightly. Ever since COVID vaccines became a reality, I've done massive amounts of research. I've talked to doctors, nurses, COVID vax administrators, and people who have gotten the vaccine. I've read nearly every medical journal I could find about the vaccine. I've read forums and articles written by foundations for autoimmune diseases relating to and pertaining to COVID and the vaccine. And here's the solid conclusion I have come to. I am part of the highest at-risk population when it comes to getting COVID. I don't mean it's likely that I'm going to get it. I'm on lockdown as far as I'm concerned. I mean that if I'm going to get COVID, I will die. There is almost absolutely no debate about that. But if I get the vaccine, yes, I am putting my life at risk to get the vaccine. It's risky for me to even get flu vaccines. The last one I had, I'll just delicately say it was rough because I don't want to relive that. However, every part of my research has said the same thing. It's unlikely that we will find any vaccine-related side effects that are riskier than actually having COVID. That said, I'm going in fully prepared. I'm bringing all my medical equipment, oximeter, blood pressure monitor, and while I don't expect to have anything happen in my first shot, hey, you never know. I've also heard from people the J&J vaccine is better for people who have underlying health issues. I have heard conflicting information on this, however, but it's only one injection. Granted, that's research you'll have to do for yourself. Talk to your doctors, talk to the people who are going to schedule for the vaccine. They'll hopefully know what's best. That said, you may not actually have a choice in the matter at all, as it all depends on which vaccines are getting sent where and when. The good news is, when you register, you're automatically asked if you have any underlying conditions and what those conditions are. At least this was true for my city. Based on my answers, I've been labeled as very high risk. That means they'll have to monitor me very carefully afterwards. I'm also getting driven by someone. Are all these precautions overkill? I hope so. But when you've got underlying health issues, like autoimmune diseases, you don't ever want to play around with it, or you're putting yourself at unnecessary risk. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm putting myself at risk to get the vaccine, if I'm already quarantining. But here's the thing. Nothing is 100% foolproof. I still feel constantly vulnerable, like when I walk my dog. I also don't know if staying locked in my house is going to remain a permanently viable solution. Jobs and money, anyone? Now here are my 3 immediate concerns regarding the vaccine. 1. The phrase clinical trials. Those 2 words together are always a red flag for me. It means we don't have enough information currently to know how this is going to affect us later down the road. However, it also means that this is currently our only way of protecting ourselves, and the primary way COVID researchers can help us navigate this wicked virus. And I think that is genuinely worth something to be part of. 2. The allergic reactions. I've been tested for things I've been allergic to in the past by getting an allergen panel done, otherwise known as a skin prick test. Now, I reacted to things like dust, mold, grass, pollen, trees, nature basically. So I'm just reminding myself that as long as the vaccine doesn't have grass, I'm probably good. But you still never know. That said, I 110% recommend getting a skin prick test done before you schedule a vaccine, just in case. That way you can be prepared to know if you're someone with severe allergies or not. Especially since the CDC has made it clear patients with severe allergies get monitored for 15 to 30 minutes after receiving the vaccine as a precaution. 3. My underlying health issues. There's plenty that could go wrong. Feeling sick is definitely one of them, and the extent and prolonged sickness is the tip of the iceberg, along with the possibility of new autoimmune reactions and flare-ups after getting vaxxed. I mean, COVID-19 still remains a massive mystery. Why and how and who it's going to affect either minimally or exponentially does not remain a given. This remains true for people who do and don't react to the vaccine. People getting shingles after their second dosage, to others reporting lasting fevers and chills, to even the bizarre and unexpected anaphylaxis reactions when they never thought they were allergic to anything. There's a smorgasbord of reactions to the vaccines out there, including people who don't react at all. That said, the CDC has made it clear none of the COVID vaccines contain the live virus. And that does make me feel a little better. So, what actually is in the vaccines? Let's take a look at some of these things from the CDC's website. Now, I could go on about my concerns about getting the vaccine, but according to a Forbes article specifically about people with autoimmune diseases getting the COVID vax, they refer to a quote by Dr. Jeffrey Curtis, chair of the ACR COVID-19 Vaccine Clinical Guidance Task Force, who said, "The benefit of COVID-19 vaccination outweighs any small possible risks for new autoimmune reactions or disease flare after vaccination. Since I want to protect myself on an additional level, getting vaxxed is my best option. I don't want to know that if I get COVID, I'm going to have to watch my parents suffer. Planning my funeral all the while, that to me is an even less of a viable option. I'm also getting vaccinated so that I can't inadvertently give COVID to someone else. Protecting ourselves is protecting each other. That's something I've always been incredibly adamant and vocal about. I sincerely hope that for all of you who are like me and have underlying health issues and or are anxious about getting vaxxed, you will still think about getting vaxxed too. Because getting actual COVID and giving someone else actual COVID is undoubtedly going to be much, much worse for you than getting the vaccine. It's certainly going to be much, much worse for someone else if you don't. Just something to think about. Now, if you're still debating at all about getting the vaccine, at the end of this video, you can find just a few resources I've used, including articles and medical science journals that will hopefully prove to be as valuable to you as they were to me. If you want any other resources, message me either in the comments section or on Twitter, and I'll send you everything I've got. And, as I posted before the intro of my video, I implore you to talk to your doctor, or doctors plural, and get as many medical opinions as you can. The more the better, because then you can choose to weigh them against each other. Anyhow, that's my unconventional announcement, and the next time you'll see me, I'll have taken my first steps to getting fully COVID vaccinated. I'm even going to log my journey, so keep your eye out for that, along with my other unconventional videos coming soon. Thanks for watching!